1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, another day of the federal government shutdown, what this means for Guam. Plus, hospital officials at GMH face accreditation issues. And one man comes face to face with an intruder inside his home.
Half a day and good evening.
The U.S. Senate adjourned without taking action on the government shutdown, but a vote on a continuing resolution to fund government operations is scheduled for 3 a.m. Tuesday, Guam time.
Leaders on both sides blame the other, while a group of moderate Republicans and Democrats tried to come up with a compromise they would both support. Wei Jing reports from Capitol Hill.
Senators piled into the elevator after bipartisan talks to get the government back open.
We're making progress. We're making progress. We agree on that.
A group of moderate Republicans and Democrats is looking for a way to pass a 3-week funding bill.
The senators in that room believe we're all losing when it comes to government shutdown.
And to secure a guarantee, Congress will address so-called dreamers, undocumented immigrants brought to this country illegally as children.
We want to see a commitment to take up immigration and with a belief that we'll get to a good result for dreamers.
The shutdown started Saturday morning after the Senate failed to pass a spending bill. So far, the impact has been seen at some national park sites, but federal workers are bracing for Monday, when hundreds of thousands could be on unpaid leave.
Several lawmakers are expressing concern that if they don't resolve this now, each side will just dig in even more.
That is absolutely critical that we not continue this, number one, on behalf of the country, but I think also resolution gets more difficult the longer we wait.
And there's already lots of finger pointing.
Democrats voted to shut down the government because they're impatient to get a solution for these DACA young adults.
All along, the president's saying, well, I'll do DACA and Dreamers in return for the wall. He's got it. Can't take yes for an answer.
The White House called Senator Schumer's account false and said the president's not negotiating on immigration while Democrats hold the government and, quote, our troops hostage.
In Washington, Weijia Jiang, Guam's News Network.
Well, we are where America's shutdown begins. Here at home, federal and military employees have already started the regular work week. Agencies sent out notices or held information sessions to explain the shutdown impact. The Defense Department has advised that active duty personnel will continue to report to their regular command. Anderson Air Force Base held a town hall meeting, and Naval Base Guam issued an advisory to relay information about the shutdown. While it was business as usual for active duty members, civilian government employees were advised about their furlough status by their respective workplaces. The local military also advised that many services remain available, such as the Commissary Exchange and Dodea schools. At the Federal District Court, Chief Judge Francis Tadinko Gatewood announced that they will remain open and can continue operations for at least 3 more weeks without any appropriation by using court fee funds. And active duty National Guard members were also told to report to work as scheduled, but about 90 military technicians were furloughed until further notice. You can view more on the impacts to our island on KUAM.com.
A major blow to the Guam Memorial Hospital. Officials confirming late Monday afternoon a preliminary denial of its accreditation.
Carmen Terlahi reports.
Preliminary denial of accreditation looms over the Guam Memorial Hospital. Peter John Camacho Hospital Administrator says the primary reason for the Joint Commission's decision, lack of secured funds.
For many years, the hospital has been not funded adequately, and that is the primary reason for many of the challenges that we face.
He says on average, the hospital loses $30 million a year. $30 million they've been urging lawmakers for the past 2 years to secure in a dedicated funding source.
What we need right now, that would I believe help the hospital with regards to this appeals process, is to take a look at securing a dedicated funding source so that we can demonstrate to the Joint Commission that we will be able to get the resources that we need to be able to do what we must do when patients come through our doors.
U.S. Joint Commission accreditation sets the standards for hospitals across the United States. In an exit survey, Camacho says the commission spoke in broad strokes, addressing issues like the ceiling tiles that are stained, shortages of staff, and difficulty recruiting and retaining health professionals. Dr. Vincent Dueñas urging senators that funding is key.
You ask about what do we want our legislature to do is, have the moral conviction to make decisions to allow GMH life and hope by giving GMH the appropriate funding that it needs, a dedicated funding source so that we can do our job here at the hospital.
But there's still hope. The hospital has 3 months to undergo the appeals process before a formal denial of accreditation. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Turlahi.
GMH officials are meeting this evening with the Legislative Health Committee for an oversight hearing discussing this very issue as well as the status of the Labor and Delivery Ward project.
Well, Chris, rules are rules. That's the argument made during day one of lawmakers in session. At issue, Resolution 239, which deals with the Ethics Committee's findings against Senator Jim Espadon.
A motion was made to move the resolution to an inactive file, but it sparked a heated debate between senators. Keani Mendiola has more.
It's a case of what seems like double jeopardy.
This issue is dead.
Senator Jim Espadon speaking out as his colleagues weighed whether or not to move on a resolution that would remove him from his leadership position for the remainder of the legislative term. As we reported, Espadon was under investigation for his alleged involvement in a generator deal between the Commonwealth Utilities Corp in the Northern Mariana Islands and a company with connections to one of Espadon's legislative staffers. However, Senator Mike San Nicolas argued it never received the votes required to even be placed on the session agenda to begin with.
Now, our rules are very clear. If you don't have 4 affirmative votes to proceed, then you don't have the votes to proceed. There are no 4 affirmative votes to proceed on this measure.
After the Ethics Committee found no violation against Espadon, but only based on vote. The motion, however, was opposed by some, including Ethics Committee Chair Senator Fernando Esteves. He argued that the Ethics Commission voted unanimously to pass the resolution in a meeting, while 3 initialed to report out only.
That we're going to use this minor technical error, an error in which I'll take full responsibility of, but error in which what we want to do is honor Mason's manual and honor that vote sheet as what we consider a technical revote and address that into the committee.
With only 2 affirmative votes, which is 2 votes short of finding an ethics violation, the resolution Espadon says should not be passed.
But the fact is they voted. On top of it, they've had 4 to 5 months to correct this, and they didn't. They made no move towards to correct this. All the while, my name, my credibility, my character has been at issue. And for now, the chairman to say that he wants to save face for himself and perhaps the committee at the expense of my integrity is totally unfair.
Lawmakers voted on San Nicolas's motion, but it failed. The resolution was referred back to committee. So what happens next? We'll just have to wait and see what the Ethics Committee decides. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Keani Mendiola.
Lawmakers are set to go back into session Tuesday morning.
The governor has filed another motion with the Supreme Court to force the legislature to transmit his bill to pay for tax refunds.
Adelup arguing that a previous ruling confirms it only takes a simple majority of those voting to pass a bill, and now it wants the High Court to order lawmakers to comply. Nestor Lacanto reports.
The governor's measure to borrow money to pay timely tax refunds, then repay the loan before the end of the fiscal year, was approved in May by a 7-6 vote. But the Democratic leadership said it actually needed 8 votes, a legislative majority, to pass. Calvo took the dispute to the Supreme Court and won. Governor spokesperson Oya Nirarekla.
So in the initial declaratory judgment that was passed by the judges, they state that the legislative rules, right, that calls for 8 votes in order to pass a bill is null and void.
In other words, she says, the 7-vote majority was perfectly legal, but senators continued to resist, saying the High Court ruling was prospective, applying only to future votes. Again, the administration disagrees.
We're basically telling them that what they did, meets the standard as stated in the Organic Act, right, which is our highest authority, our highest law and warrant. And so they need to follow the Organic Act and do their job and send us the bill.
Typically, the two sides will be asked to submit legal briefs, and a hearing will be set to present their arguments to the justices. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Another protest has been filed in the $500 million Base Operations Support Services contract for Joint Region Marianas. DZSP, which has held the BOS contract since 2005, is challenging the recent award to the Flea Corporation. According to a DZSP spokesman, their complaint is sealed under a protective order, but it alleges that the Navy made a number of errors in its most recent evaluation of both companies' proposals that resulted in the flawed conclusion that Flea's proposal represented the best deal. DZSP says this is inconsistent with the Navy's 3 previous evaluations from 2014 to 2016, in which it won the award. DZSP's current deal expires April 30th. It says an expedited court decision is expected by April 1st.
We'll stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
A year is made of more than just 365 days. It was each new connection, every show of support, and all your special moments. Happy New Year from your friends at IT&E.
2017 is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is on now. At Cars Plus in Mighty, get big year-end savings on a big selection of new 2017 Ram trucks, Jeep Wranglers, Dodge Challengers, and all Fiat models. Plus, buy from Cars Plus today and receive a Cars Plus value card, where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Big savings and 21 cents off per gallon with a Cars Plus value card when you buy during a big finish at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Today, we stand at a crossroads.
Our once bright future has been saddled with increasing government debt, rising healthcare costs,
and teachers who make less than the national average.
Now more than ever, we need leaders who can break us out from the politics of the past that got us here.
And unite our community for a better Guam.
We need experienced leaders who will bring a fresh start to solving the issues we all face.
Leaders who are fair and compassionate.
And will make our island safe and prosperous.
Lou Leon Guerrero and Joshua Tenorio are those leaders.
With proven success in both the public and private sectors, they understand that a strong economy, not more debt, is the right direction.
With our help, they will make positive changes
in the way our government is managed.
Create more jobs and more opportunities for our people.
Fairly and equitably.
This election, let's all stand and be counted for a better Guam with Lou Leon Guerrero and Joshua Tenorio.
I'm Lou Leon Guerrero and I approve this message.
At Coors, cold counts. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold for a cleaner, crisper taste. Because our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Caught on camera, at least 3 people are seen going from one home to the next in a gated community in Mighty early Sunday. Authorities getting multiple calls of a home invasion and burglary happening just minutes apart.
Police now looking into a possible burglary ring unfolding in that very area, but one teen is captured. The would-be burglar, a 16-year-old male minor, is taken down by a homeowner before police take him away.
I just grabbed him, took him down, and held him in a hold that he couldn't get out of, and then waited for him to calm down.
A startling moment for Leonard Calvo and his family, his wife waking up around 2 o'clock Sunday morning to their dog barking and a rather strange noise, clearly coming from inside their Mighty home.
She woke me up to go check it out, and I just happened to confront the guy as he was leaving the house with with his hands full of my son's belongings.
Calvo had no other choice but to take action, subduing the would-be burglar and keeping him there until police showed up.
Yeah, it was scary that I didn't realize, but when I charged him, he dropped the goods he was holding in his hands, and he had an open box cutter in his hand. So
his family miraculously unharmed.
Seeing a stranger will wake you up real fast. So the first thing I want to know is where my son was, and make sure that he wasn't around there, and I just wanted to make sure everybody was safe before we did anything.
The 16-year-old boy was taken to the Department of Youth Affairs and is charged with home invasion, 3 counts of burglary, public intoxication, consumption of alcohol underage, beyond control, and disorderly conduct. The incident had others in the neighborhood checking if anything had gone missing as well. Authorities say minutes later, a second home in the area reported 2 of the vehicles had been burglarized. Video surveillance captured these suspects walking around the property. They even took off with one of the cars. Though it was found hours later in Tamuning, the suspects remain on the run. More images show yet another suspect burglarizing a home at a nearby gated community just the night before. Police now need your help tracking them down. For now, Calvo is thankful his family is safe and that they were able to stop one of the suspects.
Really happy and then fortunate because nothing in the house is worth more than my family's and my life. So.
And Calvo says this is also a clear reminder to lock your doors. If you recognize the suspects in those images, you're asked to call police or Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP.
He was still at the scene, apparently drunk and injured when police showed up. 52-year-old George Michael is charged with home invasion, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, and public drunkenness. It happened early Saturday. Court documents state a 10-year-old girl reported seeing Michael enter the bedroom window. Once inside, he allegedly put his hand up her dress and pinched her genital area. When the suspect realized there were adults sleeping in the room, he jumped out of another window. Michael reportedly apologized to responding officers and asked to see a medic.
A longtime public servant gets his day in court. Though he was set to face a jury this week, former Manila Mayor Nito Blas strikes a deal with the government.
If you recall, the nearly 3-year-old case stems from an incident at his office where he was seen with his pants down. Here's more. It was a massage and nothing more. Former Manila Mayor Nito Blas, in an interview with KUAM back in April 2015, explained his side of the story.
That's my mistake, but I was hurting and I'm trying to get somebody that actually knows and sees. That she knows how to do it. So that's what I did, but the intention is strictly for the massage.
That was nearly 3 years ago when he was arrested and charged with receiving and giving a bribe, official misconduct, witness bribery, and indecent exposure. While still in office, Blas allegedly exposed himself to a female community service worker. The massage, Blas maintained then, was to help with a leg injury he sustained while directing traffic at Price Elementary School and preventing a car from hitting a little girl. Though he was scheduled to face a jury this week, Blas instead entered a deferred plea with the government. That plea was accepted by Judge Michael Bordallo on Monday morning.
How do you plead to the offense of official misconduct as a misdemeanor? Do you plead guilty or do you plead not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
If Blas complies with the court's conditions for the next 2 years, the case will be wiped clean from his record. Failing to comply will result in 1 year behind bars.
Pursuant to the agreement, we will defer acceptance of this plea for a period of up to 2 years. What that means, Mr. Blas, is that if you perform all the conditions set forth in your plea agreement over the next 2 years, at the end of your deferment period, your case will be dismissed and your record expunged. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Blas must pay a $1,000 fine as well as stay away from the victim, only identified by her initials as NNK. While he maintains it was a misunderstanding, he's never hesitated to apologize. This is him back in 2015.
I apologize. I feel bad for doing that.
Blas is 81 years old today. He served as the Manila mayor for nearly 3 decades.
A former Guam Police Department staffer has been indicted on theft charges between February 2014 and February 2015 while she was employed at GPD as an administrative services officer. Ovita Nauta allegedly stole over $1,500 from the police department. The 61-year-old woman faces theft of property held in trust, and issuance of a dishonored check, as well as felonies, as well as misconduct as a misdemeanor. Nauta is currently employed with the Department of Corrections with the same job title. Now, DOC Deputy Director Kate Balthazar confirms they are seeking advisement and reviewing policies on administrative action because the incidents took place at GPD and not DOC. Nauta will answer to the charges next month. That hearing is set for February 7th at 10 a.m.
Another day, another clergy sexual abuse lawsuit. The latest filing in the District Court of Guam comes from a former Manila resident only identified by his initials as STJ. Now 65 years old and living in Hawaii, the former altar boy alleges he was sexually abused and raped by former Guam priest Father Louis Brilliard in the early 1960s. The abuse occurred 2 to 3 times a week over a 2-year period. Similar to other allegations against Brilliard, STJ reports being forced to sleep over at the rectory, where the priest exposed himself and forced the boys to sleep naked. It was in the rectory STJ was fondled, masturbated, and penetrated. STJ is suing for $10 million. He is represented by attorney David Lujan.
No shutdowns, but warnings were given to over 20 vendors operating at the Dedito Flea Market on Saturday morning. According to Reverend Tech's Deputy Director Marie Benito, 8 compliance inspectors and business license officers were on site to verify an anonymous tip involving the illegal sale of tobacco products. What they found instead were dozens of vendors without the proper paperwork.
We're there to educate them, let them know that they must be licensed to sell new products or food products. Now, if you're selling used products, you do not need a license for that.
Branding General Manager Roberto Cruz, who operates the Dedito Flea Market, says the visit from the regulatory agency was friendly.
The revenue people never said, oh, you have to be out of here. They just said, if you want to continue business, I suggest, they used the word, a nice word. They were not mean. They used a nice word like, I suggest you get one. Everybody needs to get a business license if you're doing any business.
Cruz says 60% of vendors at the site are selling used goods. Many he described as military looking to sell their household items before leaving the island, or those who are simply trying to sell a few items to make ends meet. These vendors, as we mentioned, do not require a business license.
Sports is next, but first, weather.
Managing our wireless data used to drive my family crazy. But now that we've switched to GTA and get all that bonus data, we're spreading the love. You sure you don't mind the wait, honey?
Take your time. I'm good.
But we're missing the game.
Nope. I've got bonus data from GTA. Come watch.
Love it.
Get 10 extra gigs of wireless data on every line every month when you bundle. Visit gta.net for more details.
Everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itano program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Pizza Smaasi, Matson.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $8.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $8.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes, Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $8.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
How does tourism work for Guam? Half a day!
Half a day!
Tourism tax dollars fund improvements around our island. Tourism helps maintain our community centers and public parks. Tourism dollars are invested where it counts, promoting village shops and locally made products. Tourism keeps the spirit of our past alive through restoration of historical sites. Tourism supports environmental efforts that protect our natural resources. Tourism improves our quality of life. It helps make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Tourism works for Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We'll get to some NFL highlights from the AFC Championship game. The Patriots taking on the Jaguars in just a bit. But first off, some boys high school basketball for you. Check it out. Boys High School preseason basketball championship game from the GSPN tournament held at the FD Phoenix Center. FD with home court advantage taking on the JFK Islanders. Jonah Hahn showing some touch for a big man as JFK gets on board first. FD's Tomas Calvo attacks the basket and gets to finish with the left-handed layup off glass. Islanders going the other way. Alshay Grape with only 4 dribbles takes the ball from the opposite end of the court and banks the shot off the backboard for the score. Isaiah Pelkey inbounds the ball here to Mark Temerowski, who looks good coming off an injury he suffered last season. Temerowski with the hesitation move goes window for the baseline jumper. Nathaniel Chocho spots up in the corner for the Islanders. Cloyd Rosas with the kick-out pass. Chocho all net on the pull-up J. Friars take home this year's preseason title, 54-40. Over the JFK Islanders, Kyle Guyton led the way for FD with 23 points. The Friars open up their regular season tomorrow night at home against the Harvest Eagles. JFK will be taking on the Simon Sanchez Sharks at JFK. Turning over to some bowling news, Aaron Elliott and Vanji Ursando bagged the January titles of the King and Prince of the Lanes. The modified event consists of a 4-game sprint hosted by Pinpoint Guam. Elliott captured the year's first monthly event, 215 to 210 over 7th seed Noah Timinglow. Ursando claimed her first ever Prince title with the help of her handicap against Jacelyn Espiritu in the final match, 179 plus 48 to 193 plus 23. AFC Championship game in New England, Tom Brady and the Patriots suiting up against Blake Bortles and the Jaguars. Bortles looking to buy some time off the flea flicker, nowhere to go with the ball, finally gets rid of it and picks up the first down. Bortles 22 of 36 for 293 yards and a touchdown. Brady letting the O hear it, trying to get them motivated, down 17-10 with under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Jags go up 20-10. Behind Josh Lambo's 43-yard field goal. Lambo hit from 54 yards out earlier in the game. Brady and the Pats break out their own flea flicker play. Tom Brady hits wide receiver Philip Dorsett for his only reception of the game. This good for 31 yards and the first down. Mr. Clutch taking care of business hits Danny Amendola on his first of 2 touchdowns of the game. Amendola finished the game with 7 receptions for 84 yards and 2 scores. Brady 26 of 38. 290 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Patriots will now face the Eagles in Super Bowl 52 after Philly beat the Vikings 38-7.
Yeah, we played a lot better in the second half. We just couldn't get the drives going, and obviously it wasn't very good on third down. We just got into a little tempo stuff in the second half and played a little bit better. So it was great, great win. Happy for our team, and just a great game. So proud of all the guys, coaches, everyone. Amazing.
Well, who you got? I got Philly in this year's Super Bowl. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
I had a dream.
I walked into a dealership, picked out a new car, gave them no money, and they're letting me drive it for free the next 3 months.
At Nissan Guam, your dream has become a reality during the premier New Year event. For the new year, you can drive away a new Nissan with no money down and not make a payment for the next 3 months. It's on the house, no money down. We make your first 3 payments. Just sign and drive away. For details, stop by Nissan Upper Tumon or log on nissanguam.com.
We are on our way to GPO to surprise our prepaid flyaway winner! You could be the next one to win a free round-trip United flight to Manila with 4 of your friends.
Excuse me, are you Moonsha? Yes. You won a trip for you and 4 of your friends to go to Manila!
Just purchase and load any Docomo Pacific prepaid card until February 28th and get automatically entered for your chance to win.
Introducing McDonald's new $1, $2, $3 menu. With favorites for $1, like any size soft drink, or $2, like a sausage McGriddles, or $3 favorites, including Happy Meals. It's your menu. Use it to build the My Roommate Ate My Lunch meal, the Breakfast is on Me meal, or the Father and Son meal.
So you said 2 McChicken and a medium Sprite for only $3?
Exactly. It's your menu with your favorites. Build whatever meal you want. The all-new $1, $2, $3 menu from McDonald's.
Ever since Mom took a Health Mart to our Payless, she's been making healthier choices for the whole family. We look for dietitian-approved items on store shelves. This lets us know which products are healthier choices. We can even find healthy items in the Nancy Deals flyer. And if my mom ever has any questions, she checks the community care calendar for the next Health Mart event. But my favorite part about Health Mart is going to the cooking demos at the Eggy Kitchen. I'm happy we're living a healthier way of life so we can be around longer for each other.
With every era comes 2 things. Change. And a Honda Accord that defines a generation. Introducing the all-new Accord. The most impressive Honda ever.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Celebrating today, happy birthday Marlene Talavera Pinala. Also celebrating Jayliana Joy Duenas. Happy birthday, big girl. Love the family. This KUAM kid turns 21 today. Happy birthday, Tyler Javine Mazzanani. Happy 21st birthday. We love you from your family. Happy birthday, Felt Baza from Honey Steve and the whole entire family with love. Happy 7th anniversary to Roman and Canessa Duenas. I love you, babe. Happy birthday, Kyler, Kevin, Roslyn, Tubanar, turning 9. Love everyone. Happy birthday, Caleb, Jordan, Beneventi. And happy belated birthday to David Allen Uggan. Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday.
And that's going to do it for us here in the news desk. Stay tuned. Extras next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Hafa adai, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming. The Relay for Life is our community event where each and every one of us as Guamanians, regardless of age, regardless of where we went to school, how much we have in the bank, we all come together as